It's a bit out of the loop, but do you think the SEC investigating Citadel is going to be a nothing burger, or does it stand a chance? It definitely has a chance at making something happen because you have to think of it as a literal crime scene. And if there's evidence all over the place and you know that the cops are coming or there's an investigator on the way, you're going to start moving things around. But as you're moving things around, they were safer just sitting. But by you picking up a body and moving it somewhere else, there's a risk involved. By you picking up the murder weapon and moving it somewhere else, there's a risk involved. By you trying to burn a house down to eliminate evidence, there is a risk involved. So yes, the more stirring, the more uncovering, the more this and that, like it gets asked all the time, how is someone supposed to uncover any of the crime that's happened? How is your typical retail trader supposed to change anything? It's exactly that. Yes, we're a little dot in the grand totality of all of the other financial behemoths. But by us poking around, just like an ant, you can leave your crumbs all over the place, but the moment that you start to see ants, you get a little, that's exactly what's happening. And you don't just have one ant, you have the apes. You have an entire ideology that is committed to righting the wrongs that were committed. And put it this way, like I've had dozens of groups of people who have messaged me saying, hey, I'm a nuclear physicist. Hey, I work at, I can't say the company. It's not technically a company. There are some huge fucking people who not only that I'm in contact with, but then you think of all of the other
By hitting your
influencers.
stepsis, there is a risk involved. Smirking face.
There are so many people from so many different backgrounds that aren't finance, but their original their home territory, whether it's a data analyst, a nuclear physicist, uh, you name it, you cannot discredit the intelligence and the wit and grit required to participate in their industry. Just because they have to switch gears a little bit to apply the same concepts they use in their 9 to 5 to finance has no bearing to it. It's going to be a few moments of friction, but that transition in the grand scheme is meaningless. The amount of people and the amount of intelligence and curiosity and passion, without a doubt, can uncover things. I've already done it. Charlie has already done it. Bam has already done it. Trey has already done it. Matt has already done it. User of Intellect has already done it. There are hundreds of people that people can name off the top of their heads that have released some amazing work. There's no there is here. You want to know why Wall Street has all these crazy terms? Failure to delivers, short interest report data, float, shares outstanding, authorized shares, Class A, Class B, bonds, warrants, calls, puts, equities. Like the verbiage is intentionally convoluted. The nomenclature is intentionally confusing. But they all dissolve to the same mechanics. So if you have a little thing for words, I wanted to be a linguist at a high school, so I've just always had a thing for having a somewhat wide vocabulary. That's just always been something that I had an interest for. If you have that little proclivity, then that is not in any way a barricade for you getting into the world of Wall Street. They're static values with a bunch of variable names, but they dissolve to the same thing. If you have that proclivity, then the rest is just binary operations. You can go long or short. You can buy a call or a put. It's very binary. So then you throw in some geometry. For example, I like pool a lot. I like playing pool, pocket billiards, whatever your terminology is for it, snooker. When I look at the geometry of what's going on here, it looks an awful lot like what happened back here. Okay, so if this, then that, that's an if statement. What if this same person that we're talking about was also a software developer? If this, then that. Pretty fucking straightforward. So, proclivity for geometry, proclivity for logic, proclivity for words, proclivity for fucking stutter, evidently, too. It makes itself pretty intuitive. Take the bars pattern and copy it into the new trend. I did it. Yeah. This line and this line right here, the two blue lines, are the exact same. I just expanded them. So from March 8th to right before the run-up, I took the same thing. It's almost a carbon copy when you expand it up here. And off of today's movement, it just reinforces it. We need more time so that we have more data to verify. But it's right there. Wait, you and Matt are both ex-software devs? Yeah. Yeah, I did full stack. I did a lot of things.